The Final Four does continue tonight, starting on the women's side, 4 o'clock on ESPN. You got NC State versus South Carolina, and then UConn versus Iowa. Are we glued to both games, watching both games, just waiting for the second game? How are we feeling about the games tonight?
I mean, I don't know. Our guest seems to think NC State can beat South Carolina, and South Carolina does kind of play with its food. They go up big, they'll blow leads and let teams come back, so there is that. But
your Beavs damn near beat them last weekend.
Yeah, NC State, I mean, much like the men, it's not as big a seed, but I don't know. I just kind of believe the talent's just too big. I think South Carolina's going to win this game.
I will be taping both games. It is opening night for the Hops, so
I saw that Krupke did a big piece on it.
Yes, opening night for the Hops, season 11. Everybody fired up.
There you go.
But yeah, I will be interested to the start to see how South Carolina comes out. Do they come out and try to announce their presence with authority and try and run them out in the first half, or does NC State find a way to hang around with them? I could see, if things are out of control in the second half, just kind of fast-forwarding through that. But probably every minute of Iowa-UConn, I will, at some point, either late tonight or early tomorrow morning, catch.
So the second game is the game that if you want to watch these games, the second game is definitely the
there's a reason why that's the second game and not the first game.
It's got to start.
The funny thing about this, and I'm forgetting the team they played, but South Carolina had a moment where they were beating a team pretty handily in this tournament, and then that team almost it could put a scare in them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the players of South Carolina in the press conference basically said, yeah, we do whatever we want. We can get whatever we want. And Don Staley, their own coach, came to the podium after hearing this and said, also know how to blow a 22-point lead, don't we? Caitlin Clark is getting the attention. Gino Auriemma's gotten a lot of it. Paige Beckers is going to get a ton of this tonight and next year. And I thought she had a great answer on being Caitlin Clark next year. And she said, I don't want to be Caitlin Clark. I want a lot of people to get a spotlight.
Yeah.
Don Staley is really, whether you watch women's hoops or follow it, you got to love Don Staley. She's as real as it gets. She does a ton, and I mean a ton, of local media. If you put in a request for Don Staley, you will get an interview with Don Staley. Somehow all these other coaches don't abide by that. And I just love that, she'll poo-poo her own team. She's like, they don't know what they're talking about. These kids, idiot kids. She's great. She's great for the sport. So Caitlin Clark, UConn, they get a lot of the headlines. Don Staley deserves even more. And I know she's been in it more, but Don Staley is fantastic.
Maybe we should have hired her instead of Chauncey Billups.
I don't know.
Okay,
I tend to believe with the situation, anybody would have been this bad. I don't, not that Chauncey's great, but.
I'm very excited about, I'm probably not going to just be honest with you. I'm not going to watch much of the NC State-South Carolina game. I'll flip it on, check score, second half, see where we're at. If it's close.
Check the score, and then you can flip it on.
Watch in the fourth quarter if it's close. If not, I don't really care about that game. I am excited. Caitlin Clark's got me, man. She's got the fishing rod in the, she's reeling me in. I'm there. I'm watching everything that she's doing. This is a magical run. It's watching greatness. It's appreciating greatness. And so I'm excited to keep an eye on that one tonight. Over or under 40? Does she do it again?
Well, are you sure you're not going to get your Ryan Rasulo on and turn it to Wizards Blazers?
I don't think that will be a problem for me. I haven't turned a Blazer game on in 2 months.
He shouldn't have gotten so much grief for just saying that, but also hilarious to watch Magic Blazers. I was tired of the bad basketball, so I watched Magic Blazers.
I wanted to watch the Portland Trail Blazers play basketball.
Okay. All right.
What was your question? You couldn't pay me to do that right now. No. Over or under 40? Does she do it again?
I think
I'll take the under.
You take the under?
I think Gino is going to defend her drastically different than
you got to throw everybody at her every time she touches the ball,
yes.
right? It's box and one, it's double teams.
Any other player beat me, please.
Anybody else, get hot, we'll lose, that's fine.
I think, though, it'll be over because I think UConn also likes to play at a very fast pace, and as much as the defense will, I think just the up and down nature of the game will allow her, some transition opportunities before the defense can get set. And she may take 50 shots to get 40 points, but I think she gets that.
Her surrounding cast is better than USC's, but having watched UConn in person against a team with a great elite guard, Juju Watkins is a freshman, not as experienced. They did kind of push because it's basically, let's tire Juju Watkins out. And in the second quarter, I told my wife, I'm like, she's exhausted. She got to the bench. You could see her breathing. She had to sit down. They did tire her out. They have an advantage down low, I think, too, UConn. Paige Beckers is getting all the headlines, but I think they've got the advantage down low. So I'll be interested to see how they just defend her or what their strategy is with a team that is so heavily reliant on one player, but that one player is maybe transcendent.
Generational, man. I'm excited. UConn, Iowa tonight, 6 o'clock on ESPN. NC State, South Carolina is the first game, the women's Final Four. The men's is tomorrow. We'll get to that a little bit in the final hour of the show.